Welcome to the Aptiv Solutions Medical Device News Roundup for August 2014. We will outline 10 news articles filled with material that could push your company forward. Coming up in this roundup, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration continues to develop new guidances for the medical device sector while the industry undergoes transformations internationally. We're starting off this month's roundup with an article from the Ottawa Business Journal. This story revolves around the development of the Medical Devices Commercialization Center in Ottawa. The federal government is pledging to invest $14.9 million in this new initiative in order to bring Canadian medical devices to market. Our number 9 news story comes from our very own Aptiv Solutions blog. The author mentions that the FDA will be holding a workshop discussing next-generation sequencing standards on Wednesday, September 24th and Thursday, September 25th. Specifically, the relevance of bioinformatics and high-throughput sequencing technology will be addressed. Our next news article comes from MedDevice Online. The author, Jim Pomager, goes into detail about one draft guidance issued by the FDA's Center for Devices and Radiological Health this past August. The draft reclassifies certain devices by moving them from higher to lower levels, and Michael Drewis, Ph.D., President of Vascular Sciences, discusses how device makers can use this to their advantage. At number 7, we have a news story from our own Aptiv Solutions blog. The authors, Mary Hazari Adam and Sandra White, discuss a recently published FDA guidance on in vitro companion diagnostic devices. The FDA asks sponsors interested in developing these products to meet with medical device and therapeutic product review divisions to create strong developmental designs. The following news article comes from the Health Data Management publication. It notes that the Telecommunications Industry Association, the TIA, backs the FDA guidance encouraging the transmission and conversion of vital medical device statistics. These guidelines allow doctors to store information and review it at any point in the future, at home, in the office, or on the go. For our number 5 spot, we have a news story from Forbes. Columnist Benjamin Schobert wrote about a new policy in China favoring domestic medical device manufacturers over foreign device makers. The government made this push toward assisting local manufacturers in order to minimize the rising costs in medical care. This may inadvertently harm foreign medical device producers. Our 4th story for this roundup comes from MedDevice Online, where contributor Joff Enriquez discusses how the IRS is having difficulty deciding which organizations need to adhere to the medical device tax. The problem at hand is that the IRS cannot identify the set of device makers registered with the FDA that must file a Form 720. Due to this issue, the tax has not gained the net amount aimed for by the Affordable Care Act. In the number 3 spot for our roundup, Richard Rubin's and Kathleen Hunter's news story from Bloomberg discusses how the Republican Party is attempting to repeal the U.S. excise tax on medical devices. The authors explain how this could make a dent in President Obama's Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act. So far, 79 senators have backed the vote to repeal the tax. Hitting the number 2 spot, a story from the Medical Device and Diagnostic Industry publication discusses the best practices medical device manufacturers should follow when outsourcing to a contract research organization, or CRO. Some of the important points include effectively determining which clinical affairs to outsource or keep in-house, find out the experience of peer device manufacturers, and rate the value of outsourcing certain trial procedures. Our number 1 news story comes from BBC News and examines the potential of wearable technology for studying symptoms in patients with epilepsy. A new startup is developing an application through a smartphone with a wireless connection that will record patients' brain electronic activity. While this innovative research could transform the diagnosis of epilepsy, the regulatory frameworks surrounding wearable technology mean it may take years to get such products to market. This concludes our August Medical Device News Roundup. Please share these stories throughout your peer groups, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter @AptivSolutions for more news.